Well, the Autistic Space Crusaders have gotten a new Codex supplement on the way and a shiny new standard bearer to go along with it. Let's take a look at the insane new Black Templars Crusader Ancient, as he's probably one of the best Space Marine models that Games Workshop has ever made. And I'm no Templar fanboy, I love most of the Sons of Dorn, but the Black Templars' religious fanaticism is a bit much for me at times. That said, I love this model so much it is making even me think about building a Templars force. So starting from the top, we see this guy's holding his new Autism Awareness flag, which is a flagpole that is topped with a three-eyed skull, presumably a navigator's skull. Definitely a mutant of some sort, but whether it is of the demonic variety or it is a loyal Imperial navigator's skull, we've yet to see. The flagpole has a lot more going on than just the skull though. So there are two different standards that the kit comes with, which is cool. But the first one they show us is one with an orc skull that's impaled by a sword. I love how the orc skull and the three-eyed mutant skull at the top both share the metal casing around them, as it is in the style of old medieval Crusades-era holy relics. There are saints, some even Templars if I recall correctly, but don't quote me, I'm not religious though I do love history, but there are saints whose skulls are preserved as relics of the church, and they are surrounded by metal bands, just like these. It's just the perfect touch of real-world religiosity, and really makes these stand out as super cool. Oh yeah, and the orc has a plaque hanging from the steel reinforcement around the skull that says Armageddon. It's perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. And then we're down to the Ancient himself, and his helmet is just too cool. I mean, he looks both like a Space Marine and a Crusading Knight during the Crusades. Like, he literally looks like he's just about to stomp Saladin and take Jerusalem by force. Every little detail, from the chains on the wrists binding the knight to both the banner pole and the sword in his left hand, to the gorget and the belt, are all just perfectly executed. And I'm very happy to see this, and the way his robes are flowing is just making this model feel alive. Somewhere on an alien world, he's holding that banner high so his brothers can see it and rally, as an alien wind billows around his robes. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than this. Now I have the Emperor's Champion model who is stabbing the orc with this black sword, but to me, since I don't have a Templars army, the model is an orc war boss. And since orcs care more about actually fighting than about who wins or loses, it seems like a perfect example of an orc boss doing what he loves most, even if he's not doing it best. But this model I have no practical use for, and no reason to pick it up, other than it just totally looks awesome and I have to have it. From his sword to his bling in the form of the Templar cross on his neck to the emblems on the armor, it is all perfection, just absolutely nailing it. Even the tactical rock is rad. There's a chunk of spine, at least a few vertebrae, just chilling on the ground by the rock. It's really the little details that make this one. Moving on to the other option for the banner, we get one with a shield instead of a sword. And this shield is blank so we can put our own heraldry on it. But that doesn't mean it isn't cool. And in some ways, I like it more than the sword through the orc skull. It is just as good as it gets. Very fun, especially with the chains hanging from behind it, and the manacles attached. It looks like he means business no matter which of the banners you might choose. Now the Codex cover has a fun little nod to Crusader armies from history, not just Warhammer 40,000 history, but our real worlds as well. And the guy has an Arabic style head covering for his armor. I don't know if it is practical or working to keep the hot sun off his neck in power armor, but it sure does look cool, doesn't it? And the little neophyte that is in the bottom of the image, he's got the typical Knight Squire's haircut. And funny enough, both parts of this take me back to Looney Tunes cartoons when I see them. I'm going to rate this as a 9 out of 10 because there is always a bit of room for improvement, but it is really as good as one could expect it to be. I really like this one. Probably one of the best minis Games Workshop ever put out for Warhammer 40K. It gives me hope for the future of the game in some ways. They have really doubled down on putting out just top-notch, super quality miniatures, and that at least brings an old salty dog like me some peace of mind. Now, will we see the Drukhari, the Squats, and the other factions yet to get a 10th edition Codex get miniatures of this same quality? That remains to be seen, but I am hopeful. This really knocks it out of the park. So yeah, I won't be surprised when I go out and buy this model for no reason whatsoever besides it looks cool. Games Workshop can really nail it sometimes, and this is the best example of a Black Templar I've probably ever seen. I never thought I'd say this, but it may just be even better than the original Emperor's Champion model. And that is really saying something because it was absolutely phenomenal. Why though? Why is it so good? To me, it just feels Warhammer. It takes me right to the grim darkness of the far future with just a single glance. Like the new Sanctifier kill team. It just has that right mix of original 80s, 90s era art feel with contemporary sculpting and lore-based modeling. Okay, I'm going to bump it up. I've talked myself into it. This is a 9.5 out of 10. Games Workshop totally nailed it.